Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome. I was meaning to come on this morning, but some things came up, so I thought I will do the room this afternoon and late at night. Right? So here I am. I just wanted to share some things with you all. And I was uh, in a discussion on ancient systems of several healing systems, and they were talking about happiness and perspective of the uh, older generations is quite different from what we were led to believe. Uh, Here, happiness is not really tended as much as we do the studies and personal development and all that, but not really happiness itself, right? So they were talking about when you're agitated about some things and want to get it, and then you get it, you feel happy, and your up and down within is gone, then you are basically joyful and happy, right? So they were not talking about getting a lot of things or experiencing several things or having so many relationships. They were not talking about that. They were talking about how your inner self raises in desire, and when you are fulfilled in the desire, you kind of happy. But then you are really sad. Right? So it's a good question what's your relationship with your own desires? Do you want to pursue them, or do you want to understand the superficiality of it and not be in that? For modern people, probably that is a very big deal to be having desires and fulfilling them, and then thinking like, "Oh, I'm happy because I'm fulfilled my desires." So that's what they are arguing. They are arguing about not having any desires or understanding the structure of the desires and really examine whether it is really true or not, if it's something important or not, right? And then you have a steadiness in the mind, not really pursuing after things. And it's a very, very fulfilling condition, and you are not up and down. That's what is in your mind. So that kind of satisfaction, that kind of the mind, that kind of fulfillment, is really what they talked about and presented about and told the ways. When you pursue that kind of thing, you know that happiness within you, and you kind of have a desire for a mango, right? And you get the mango and you eat it and you are very happy you tasted it, you enjoyed it. But if you do 10 mangoes in a row, that pleasure is gone, right? So that's what they were talking about all the time, right? So finding that joy within is very fulfilling because you are not really going after so many things and being restless, or you are really having so many problems because you have no resources to reach them, and also you are separate from other people. You have real competition, not really fulfilling them, being miserable, right? That kind of thing. So it's a kind of I agree because after you see uh, having so many victories in life, still finding there's something missing, you return inward and then find out, yeah, everything is within ourselves. The joy, the happiness, the pleasures, all those things are reflected on conscious being. Right? So this is very unusual for a lot of people to understand and accept. So I kind of present it, and I kind of invite people to go and examine it for themselves and find out for themselves whether there is really any happiness in the things outside, or there's a quality of happiness is within us. And once we discover that, we are very content, happy, and then we lead life without really aiming for anything, but rather it's like we always uh, be with, right? That kind of, you know. Uh, so it's a question of understanding that inward nature of ours and how that is really, really fulfillment that is there, and you just have to learn and realize. Right? So this lady who was talking about this kind of happiness, really talking about uh, that lack of up and down, wanting something and then going after that, and then if you don't get that, then you are kind of unsettled, and if you get that, you are very happy for a few minutes and then it's gone. So whatever is dependent on external things is like that. But if you really don't have that, they call this trish. That means desire to have things. If that desire is not there, then you are really in the joy. So you touch that, and then your mind is still, your emotions are still, and then that cannot be shaken by anything. Circumstances, people, or any acquisition or loss, all those things will become immaterial when you are steadily joyful, happy with them. Okay? That's a new concept for a lot of people, but I have heard it for so many years and then have been experimenting with that. So it becomes very serene, calm, quiet, and no up and down of the desirous thing. And you are always in happiness. That's what I wanted to share with people. I see some people on the network here and YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. Um, so I'm going to address them any issues that they have. If they have, can submit me the questions or comments, then I'll answer them. Uh, think about it. What are you going for? Are you going for the happiness in things, in circumstances, in acquisitions outside of you, or are you able to keep your mind and heart as a calm and quiet and really understand the joy and happiness is within, and you have touched it. Once you have touched that, you have a lot of peace and quiet in your life because you don't have to aspire for anything, you don't have to go after anything. Even if you go after everything, that may be satisfying to you after you're done, but it is not reason why you are joyful and happy. Once you discover that, then you discover, okay, within my um, own thing, I can be happy and really um, understand the policy of having happiness from outside. That kind of. So this is a very novel concept for me, like 20, 30 years ago, because we were raised to pursue happiness, but we were never told we have happiness within ourselves and we just have touched it. So that kind of would think pursuit of happiness in the United States was a big, and we are always after something, right? So we will be satisfied with something acquisition. And then again, we want to go something else. This I saw with my colleagues too. Um, many doctors, they are pretty good doctors. They have done a lot of work and they achieved several uh, degrees, several uh, precisions, praise, and all that. They were not happy. They made a lot of money and they were not happy with it. And they were really not taking any time to reflect on what this happiness is about. Is it inside or outside? They never followed those kind of you know uh, things, right? So then what happened was, once they really undertook this question, once they stopped all the outward thinking or intellectual studies, all these things come to a place, and then they were able to look at themselves. What's going on in my mind? What am I aspiring for? Do I really need it? If the desire is a good thing and all that. And once they have undertaken that journey into their own self, what they discovered was that joy is within, happiness is within. Okay, I wanted them to discover it by themselves. Me saying so is not, but you undertaking a journey, drawing inward and finding out what is what. That is where the uh, real, genuine discovery happens, right? It's not that you are following somebody's instruction, you are following to find out the truth of it. That is what ancient philosophies, ancient cultures, ancient methods were about. Calm the intellect down and inward and find out who we are, right? And then discovering that gave them a lot of stability, quietness, and real uh, equanimity of the desires going up and down. And up. That kind of thing is very, very important, right? So as the years go by, um, I made a habit of taking some time off in the morning, in the evening, to sit down calmly and reflect what's happening and what's going on, and then really not influenced by any external pressures, but discovering what is coming up with my own thoughts and mind. What is it that could have made me really happy, and what made me run after things that are did not prove to be uh, um, like a contentment and fulfillment. None of them are there because you already have them. One time you have them, like I said, if you eat one mango after several days, you enjoy it. But if you eat a series of mangoes, then you don't want to really touch the 10th mango, right? So that kind of thing. Especially people who, while interacted with that were made a lot of accumulations of money, properties, lands, whatever. Watches. One particular doctor, he was buying 100 watches. I think he had he used to buy one watch and keep it, and he never used any of it. But he was happy just he was collecting. But then after a while, there was no meaning for him because he said, "What's the point?" And he gave it all away. You know, so he had more pleasure in giving away rather than accumulating. You know, this is a philosophical question. It's something that you want to find out for yourself, and it's not something that you really have to compare yourself with somebody, and then you don't have to belittle either them or yourself. But this is something generational thing. Um, Ancients said joy and happiness within, and discovery is always there. Ancients always pursuing for something outside of themselves, and it never really gives you uh, the meaning that you are looking. You may have it initially, but then as the time goes up, you want something else, something else, something else. So this they call Krishna. Krishna means eagerness, like a octopus, grab at things and get them. You know. That grabbing changes from one to another and goes from one thing, never stops, never gives you the complete fulfillment, which the other way it is there and then touch. See, if you have impacted your mind and you have no time to reflect, you will not be able to do that. But if you're used to that, don't look for anybody else's opinion. Just stop it and look what is going on within you. What are the thoughts coming and going? What are the feelings coming and going? If you can really be in touch with that without any proper, you don't have to do anything except to make some time away from all the other activities. Then you stop and then reflect on what's going on within you. That is called self knowledge. Is it self knowledge of your own self, your own mind, your own thoughts, right? And once you have that, then you'll be fine. Okay. So when I opened this chat, I was asking this question because I just had a meeting with a couple of people who are discussing the role of uh, ancient systems in different ways. Basically how we are fortunate kind of inquiring, that kind of eliciting the truth, that kind of going after really meaningful for people. And all those things are, you don't have to do anything like earning money, all that, but you have to have this intention that want to within me. See, as human beings who are not just like animals, like, we eat and rest and mate and do all that. We are not enough of that is not us. Animals will be satisfied with that. We are not. We want to really know what's ahead of us, what happened, what's the relationship that and the future to this movement. And also we want to really understand mm, what is happiness, how can we really nurture that, culture that, and is there something like that? What do the people who have done this say? They say that's very fulfilling, utmost fulfilling, and does not have any of these ups and downs of desire. So you don't have to be a Buddhist monk or Hindu sage or anything like that. But you are a modern person. You are questioning, is happiness. Is happiness is there in my pursuit of things or pursuit of accomplishments or accumulations outside, or is it a certain quality of my mind that's settled down that is contained within itself? And that's where the happiness is. So that's the question. The initial thing for that is just to go ahead and practice being alone and reflecting on your inner self, right? That is difficult for a lot of people because they cannot keep quiet without talking to anybody, and they cannot stay with their own thoughts, whatever coming, without analyzing them, without giving some kind of shape or name for them. That way, the moment they identify them, they get lost in them. You cannot watch them just like that. That's a very difficult process for a lot of people. So, once you are capable of being stable in your body, in your mind, and being able to observe whatever is happening within you without judgment, then you will discover a lot of things about yourself and what are the questions, what are the answers, what are the doubts you have. They all come up. And uh, finding the truth is the challenge. It's kind of very difficult challenge. It's not like you open a book and say, you can say, oh, what's the big deal? I can open a book. And, yeah, you can have so much knowledge. But unless it is kind of implemented, followed upon, you won't have the taste of that. have memory of that. You can quote that scene from somebody else's writing, but you cannot touch that peace and quiet and joy within you. So I am always inviting my friends to take this something like unusual, different, and actually trusted for thousands of years. You know, but then this, depending on the thought, depending on intellect and senses, that is a rather modern phenomenon. From the controlling the senses, turning the mind inward, not depending on intellect, was ancient process. That's why they were not overthinking, they were enjoying quietness in the mind, peace in the mind all the time. Whereas modern people complicated their thought and limited themselves to thought, and then they're always thinking, getting more things into that mind. And that is now currently the big information all around, right? And a lot of people are overladen with so much unnecessary information. They do not know to stop and look inward. Even if they say meditation is about getting all the things, but what is it behind that? What is it beyond the thought? That's where it has to be your personal experience, where you turn and then be quiet in your superficial mind and look in the deeper aspects of your human psyche, right? Um, that's, I think, as human beings, we are capable of doing it. Animals cannot do it. And as human beings, we have privileged to enjoy that inner peace. Think about it. Just be calm. Just 10 to 15 minutes in the morning and 10 to 15 minutes in the evening, you know, and then let all the thoughts settle down and go beyond that. And then, really touch that silent spirit and tranquil being. And that itself is ritual. I always get a smile uh, expressing that to you. I recall that experience. But then I don't rely on that. I don't put it only as something I should celebrate. I just go into that freshly again, the beginner's mind, complete empty, complete quiet, right? And that kind of thing, I think I'm inviting everybody to try at this modern times, whereby um, you can really experience for yourself. Okay? Uh, Anybody wants to come up, you can come up and tell me what you think about it. Okay. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, I hope it's good for you.
Yeah.
Since we've been talking a couple of days, have you gotten into a dream? That was a beautiful. That was beautiful for me to listen to. I just want to let you. Thank you very much.
Sure. What do you think about the happiness? Do you think it's outside or inside of you?
Inside out, upside down, and everywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
I say that to you in all honesty as I look at my yellow fingernails.
Mm.
And after the meeting I just had with the doctor and her student,
Mhm.
I feel as though the fly on the wall or in my skull that moment messed up once. Because
Mm.
you said exactly
Mm.
what was going on. And for that I'm blessed because I'm in yet another better spot.
Mm. That's good.
Yeah. And I thank you. Um, with all my being, I thank you very much.
Sure, Kathy. Yeah, I see this practice of trying to be silent in the morning and the evening, that's not only very good, but is needed in this day and age of too much information. And later on, what we learn is why do we have to focus on everything that comes my way? We kind of weed it out and we kind of settle down on what is meaningful for us. And that itself gives you a lot of peace of mind, you know. Otherwise, everything comes into our mind, gives us emotional reactions and disturbs us. So, these are kind of very important philosophical things, insights that we had from ancient times. And people were very together, people were not stressed out because they don't have too much of a hurry. I think we can go back to that again, being natural, being one with the nature, and really having a relationship with the trees and plants and animals. All that helps us to be, quite in the mind. I am quite in the mind. That's why I always talk about that. I'm kind of blessed in being present and also not having all this, pursuits of so many things in the mind. So that
Yeah,
is,
well, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, because I've gone to like four different outside places as you were talking.
yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, it's not only Kathy. Lots of times, my colleagues, the more well-read, the more they are dealing with so many things, more their mind goes all over. Whereas the best thing is, you can be very effective in what you're doing, but you cut your focus in shape, just to one place, and you are really enjoying whatever you are doing because you are attentive. You are completely in flow with what you are doing. That way I don't feel work is a burden for me. I cannot take any work I need to do that comes my way, or something asks me about something, then I will be doing that, right? It's a question of really knowing what is important and what is not. That discrimination may not be there when you take up something to help people, or you take something because your heart wants to do it, and you put your complete involvement in that, and that becomes the flow. So there's nothing like somebody is pushing you, or there's nothing like you are afraid of some consequence. You do it because you want to do it, and there's no pressure, right? There's no hurry. There's no really fearful of something failing or something wrong. You just take up things because you love it. And that's a very good thing. So I thought I will just have this chat with you because this is something that came up in the discussion. That I would present this. How many people really uh, examine this? You don't have to agree, but is happiness to be pursued outward, or we are joyous and happy beings to begin with, and we forgot about that. So turn inward and realize which is true for you. That's what I wanted to pose a question here, and anybody is interested, they can pursue that. Okay. I will see you again tonight. Today's topic is going to be mindful movement on the TPA Day on Wellness series. I'm doing at 8 p.m. Central. Then we'll talk about a lot of movement and how can be mindful, how it is done regularly. Then you don't have to have a separate thing about facility, time, and all that. You can be mindful of your movement and then do that very moving all the time. Okay? That's what we are. Thank you. I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock.